I want to thank you guys again, as everybody else has said, for this opportunity to be here today with these guys. Just to be around the other coaches in the county and in the surrounding areas, always a good ordeal for us. I'm going to let these guys come up and actually introduce themselves. I always like to do that just to make them have to say something and speak. So come on up, Dawson.
My name is Dawson Blackston. I play slot receiver, also play a little bit of defense at corner.
I'm Caleb Arnold. I'm right guard. I play a little bit of D end and linebacker.
Two wonderful seniors for us. Both of them have been there since I got there 5 years ago and have been a part of it with me throughout these trials. Dawson is a tremendous athlete, probably one of the best athletes we've got as far as speed goes. Great hands. He's going to do a lot for us. We'll use him in many different ways on offense. And Caleb, he's sort of the meat grinder up front for us. We've got 3 returning starters on the offensive line, and he's one of them that will. He provides a lot of intelligence for us up front. Helps our center get everything lined up, and does a great job for us up front. And he'll play a little bit on defense for us. When we see bigger teams that are going to run the ball at us a lot, he'll definitely play a little bit more on the defensive side for us as well. This upcoming season, obviously last year we went 6-6, made it to the second round of the playoffs for the second year in a row. Piedmont beat us in the second round. This team's going to be different. That team last year, we had a bunch of seniors that had played a lot of snaps for us, and honestly, going into the spring, I wasn't real sure what we were going to have. Offensively, we lost, out of our 6 skill guys, we lost 5 of them. And, Dawson was really the only one returning that had played a lot of snaps. And we got out there in the spring, and I'll tell you, our coaching staff and I were just blown away by the way these guys got out there and competed. And that was sort of the word we took into it, was compete. Every rep, every play, and these guys, they surprised me. I was really not sure what to expect, and they competed in the weight room. They competed at spring, and it made me feel a lot better about our situation. And then through the summer, we've had probably one of the best summers I've had since I've been there, and that's what I've told them a little bit is. Last year's group, they thought they were good and maybe didn't work as hard as they needed to work to be as good as they should have been. This group, they don't really know what they're going to be, but they've worked hard enough to make themselves have the opportunity to be as good as that group that we've had the past few years where we went to the second round of the playoffs. And that to me is special, because there's not, y'all close your ears, guys, but we're not as talented, but we work harder, and we're going to be physical. I think we got away from that a little bit over the past 2 years of being real physical in the trenches. We're going to be as physical as we possibly can be up front. We're going to make sure our receivers block, our running backs block for each other. We're going to get after people on defense as much as we can. And so that's the biggest thing for me is how these guys have met the challenge of being physical and competing against each other. Quarterback-wise, we're going to start our sophomore, Hayden Floyd. He is, one of the smartest kids that I've dealt with as far as the game goes for a sophomore. He's got to learn to get confident about his throws, about his reads, and the kids love him. They compete for him. They want to play hard for him, and so I think that's the biggest thing about quarterback is having the teammates that will play hard for you. Our strength, I think, will be our O-line. The secondary on defense probably our strength. We got all 5 starters returning in the secondary for us, which was our weakness last year. And obviously losing 2-3-year starters at linebacker is going to be tough, but we feel like we'll be okay there. Just got a lot of greenness to get out of some guys. We actually will be faster on defense. One of those linebackers last year was really slow. He made a bunch of tackles, but I feel like we'll be, a lot faster, all 11 guys on defense for us this year. I will say this, sort of a soapbox moment for you. This is a great game. Football is a wonderful sport that needs to be played by as many people as we possibly can get out. We've got about 52 on our varsity program, and I'm so proud of those guys. And you've always got those guys that might not play a lot for you, even as a senior. And we've got some of those guys, but it's so special to me to have those guys out there every day competing, even though they know I might not play a lot. I'm proud of those guys for doing that. Another area is, and I talked with Coach at Appalachian about this, we lost our trainer situation about 2 weeks ago. Basically, they came to us and said, we can't cover you anymore. So right now, we don't have a trainer. So if you come to us and you play at our stadium, please bring a trainer, because right now we don't have a trainer. And I'll tell you how important that is. This past Friday, we went to Russellville, played an 11-on-11 deal up there with them and some other schools. And our trainer, who we are going to miss tremendously, went with us. She didn't have to go, but she went with us. And had a kid that said, Coach, my stomach doesn't feel good. I said, go see our trainer. She found out, basically, the kid had diverticulitis, okay? I would have told the kid, suck it up, go play. You're okay. It's just an upset stomach. That's how important it is to make sure we have those men and women who are athletic trainers on the field with us as much as possible. That kid spent 2 nights in the hospital, got antibiotics, and he's going to be fine. Whereas if we didn't have that trainer, what happens? So that's why it's important to have those people out there. Thank your trainers and thank those people that help you out as much as you possibly can, because that's a big deal. So that's all I've got. Any questions, feel free to ask. I already know what question number 1 is. Go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of people in here may not know that you're a bit of a celebrity worldwide now. Do you have any tips on how to put a pullover on?
All right, make sure when you put a pullover on, you unzip it first, okay, Mr. Gibbs? Yes, I did catch my eyelid in a zipper last week, putting on a cage jacket. So, yes, just make sure you unzip that zipper first.
Coach, you play in a tough region, but I got to ask you, your non-region schedule is probably one of the toughest in the state.
Yeah, for 3A, I would definitely say our non-region schedule is probably the toughest. We open up with Jacksonville, who's going to be as athletic as any team we see. And it's physical. That's the other thing, is they're physical. That hurts you as well. Then we play Susan Moore, who's always physical, great, competition between our two schools, 8 miles apart. The kids know each other, they play hard against each other. Then we play Cleveland, which is another 8 miles apart, 7 miles, whatever it is, and tremendous coach. I love coaching against good coaches because it makes you learn where you're bad and maybe where you're good. So you learn good things there from playing against these other good coaches. And then we finish up with Doniana. So those 4 are tough, and then you got your region as well. So we just know that we've got to go compete. No matter what happens, play the next play, play the next series, play the next game, and that's just sort of the approach that you got to take with that.
Any other questions? Thank you, Coach.